Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about the Elna 3210 jeans machine. This is a unique machine that's in the Elna line. Ken Sewing Center has been the Elna dealer for 50 years now. The jeans machine, if you do a lot of sewing on heavy denim, maybe overalls, Carhartt overalls, mending, quilting, garment construction, where you may ever so often need to do several layers of heavier material like denim, the 3210 jeans machine is the one you want to look at. This particular machine makes it real easy for you to find your stitches, find your pressure feet, and get to sewing. Really easy to thread. So let's give you a good overview of this machine. The 3210 jeans machine has 19 built-in sewing and utility stitches. I've got straight stitches, zigzags, overcasting stitches. I have a couple of decorative stitches, and I have my overcast stitches here, applique stitches. I have my decorative stitches like rick-rack. I have a stretch straight stitch. It sews 2 stitches forward and 1 reverse. The rick-rack stitch is basically a double zigzag, so it's sewing a double zigzag there for you. Used to, you'd buy rick-rack and sew it on by hand. This is built into the machine. It's also a good stitch for reinforcing. So these 2 stitches would do that. Stitch 19 is a one-step buttonhole, and the one-step buttonhole comes with a specialized foot, and you can place the button you're working with in it, and it's going to size that buttonhole every time to the button you're working with. So it takes all the guesswork out of your sewing buttonholes. On the front of the machine here, I have 3 dials. I can adjust my stitch length, the stitch width, and my tension setting here. The machine will have adjustable pressure on it. That regulates the amount of force being pressed down on my presser foot. It is very easy for us to thread this machine because everything from my spool pin here is channeled all the way down to my needle, and I do have a built-in needle threader on the machine. It does give me extra high lift under my presser foot, so if I'm working with thicker materials, I can get that under the presser foot, and the machine does have a 7-point feed dog system built in, so it's touching that fabric in 7 places. Extremely important when we're feeding denim. Extremely important when we're working with lighter weight material to reduce puckering. It does have the top drop-in bobbin system on it, and that's really nice to have on the machine. It will quiet the machine down, but also I can thread that bobbin case very easy. I can also see how much thread that I have on my bobbin at any given time. And here I have reverse. So right on the front of the machine, we have more images on the website and more information on this neat machine, but it shows me and recommends presser feet for the stitch that I'm working with. All the pictures of the presser feet on this machine are included with the machine, so you don't need to buy anything else. It does have a little scissor on the side of the machine. I can rake my thread across to trim it. I do have the removable accessory tray. I can keep all my accessories in the machine. It does have the drop feed lever right here in front, so it's really nice and accessible for me. And this lever here allows me to adjust the buttonhole. There's certain times where certain threads and certain types of fabric where one side of the buttonhole may be thinner than the other. I can adjust that thickness on the right or left hand side. The buttonhole maker that comes with it, you can also do corded buttonholes with it. So if you want a really thick and raised buttonhole for a decorative effect, you can do that with this machine as well. It is a mechanical machine, so there's no computer board for you to have to worry about. It does have the LED lighting system here to illuminate the workspace. Overall, a well thought out machine. So let's sew on this machine and show you exactly what it can do. The top drop-in bobbin machines are very smooth to use. It will come with an electronic foot control. And notice how quiet this machine runs. I'm at full speed right now. I can easily hit my reverse right here if I need to back tack something. Another thing about this machine is on my width setting, I can actually move my width button over, and it will allow me to move my needle position. So if I'm putting in a zipper, or if I'm putting in cording or piping on a garment, I can get right up to the edge of what I'm putting on and get my needle right up to it just by moving the width button over and having the machine on straight stitch. It's really easy for me to adjust my stitch, and I can see on the diagram here what stitch I have the machine on, and all I have to do is just turn the dial and it shows me what stitch. I find the stitch that I want to do, check my width setting, check my length setting. Tension is not going to be an issue on this machine. As I'll show you, we can sew, as I already have on this cotton, I can sew on that cotton all the way down onto a piece of stretch material. And I'm not going to have to adjust my tension whatsoever. Get to the end of that garment, raise my presser foot, rake it right across the razor, and I've sewn through cotton to a stretch material. I don't have to adjust my tension. As the namesake of this machine is, it is a jeans machine. The motor is very durable. The torque on this motor allows me to handle thicker materials with no problem. For my mending side seam on a pair of blue jeans, just like what I'm doing here, which is 8 layers of denim. I've got the extra high lift under my presser foot so I can get that foot under the machine. Let's get it on the stitch that I want to. Most of the time I'm going to be sewing a straight stitch if I'm hemming a pair of blue jeans. No problem whatsoever for this machine. I'm even going to back tack through it, and there's not a problem whatsoever. So if I want to go from that, and let's say let me go down just a little bit, I can crawl down. Go right through the material. The machine hasn't jammed on me whatsoever. It's no problem. Ken Sewing Center is your authorized Elna dealer. We carry everything that's made for this machine. We have 4 full-time technicians at our store. Be glad to help answer any questions for you about this machine. If you would like for us to compare this model for you within the Elna line or maybe another brand, we can tell you the differences in them and help find the machine that's going to be right for you. Elna is a well-built machine. They've been in business a long time. We'll be glad to answer all your questions, so feel free to drop us an email or give us a call anytime.